let's stick with the budget because the Prime Minister has been wooing wealthy business leaders to try and boost investment in the UK. Remember that big summit yesterday? At it was John Caudwell. He's the founder of Phones for You. John, good morning to you. Let's just start with what we heard there from James. He was describing this potential national insurance rise, which we may or may not see in the budget, as a jobs tax. Do you view it that way?
I do. Of course, it's a jobs tax, but is it overly worrying? That depends on what the overall package of measures are. What's really positive about the Labour government, and I've never seen this before in all my history, is such a dedicated, absolute dedicated passion for growth and a dedicated passion for the environment. And Labour have pledged this so vociferously to the whole world. And if they don't achieve it, then they're going to be a really huge failure as a political party. And of course, Britain will fail. But I have every confidence the way that they're going is going to actually succeed. Now, regarding the negatives, there's got to be some negatives because we have a hole to plug. And there's always going to be negatives, but what they have to do is get the package right in the round so that businesses are encouraged to invest and grow, and inward investment flows into the UK.
Indeed, and we saw that yesterday, didn't we? But during the summer and the first 100 days of this government, a lot of business leaders, a lot of people I'm sure you knew, felt that the government were talking the UK economy down too much, that was actually having a negative impact.
Sorry, talking down in what way?
Well, talking about the fact that there were very difficult decisions, that the economic future wasn't particularly bright, that there was a lot more pain to come. That's not a message that you want to send to the rest of the world, is it?
I think, there's always an element of politicking, isn't there? That's what politicians do. And the more they can set the stage in a negative environment ready for the big positive, which came yesterday. There was no negativity yesterday at all. And that's not just within the Labour Party that there was no negativity. The vast majority of really serious big business people, international business people from around the world that I talked to were somewhere between optimistic and very excited. They were really very, very positively regarded. And of course, there's some cynicism. We all know that they may not get it completely right, that they may not succeed to the level that they want to. But by gum, there was a lot of passion to achieve great things for Britain. And there was a lot of the investment community, huge businesses like BlackRock, that were really positive about supporting Britain, investing in Britain, and the future under the Labour government. So I came tremendously enthused.
And John, and just one thing I want to focus on about that is clearly this reset that Keir Starmer wants to have with Europe. Now, that in part is about his growth agenda. You were a kind of big Brexiteer, I think it's fair to say, or a vocal Brexiteer. Do you welcome the Prime Minister trying to form, frankly, a closer relationship with the European Union?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't we? I mean, I said all along during
Brexit. I thought Brexit was the opposite of that. No.
No. Let me finish the answer your question. I said all along that I don't want to be part of the EU, but I'm European and I want a close relationship like we had under the common market with our neighbours and our trading partners. And of course, that's absolute common sense that we want a great relationship with the whole of Europe, but we don't want to be part of the EU. And if you want me to give an example why that would be, let's just look at the way that help was denied to Ukraine to let men, women and children suffer and be slaughtered as a consequence of Hungary being the only one country that stood against that decision to send help to Ukraine. That's disgusting. It's a disgusting constitution that needs reform and needs changing because you cannot have one rogue country holding the whole to ransom.
And just while I've got you, you are now a Labour supporter. You came out, if you like, before the election. Are you prepared maybe to put your money where your mouth is? Are you going to stop funding or help bankrolling the Labour Party?
I've not funded the Labour Party, nor any plans to do so, nor have they made any request for me to fund them.
Would you consider it?
This is not about funding the Labour Party. It's about supporting them in their quest to make Britain great. And if they needed my support for the next election and they've done a good enough job, maybe I'll consider that. But it's not really about that. It's about me helping them with their decisions and the success of this country.
OK, that's I think, a definitely strong maybe. John, thank you very much indeed. John Caudwell there joining us down the line.